In today's video, you'll get to know who Golden is, what her business model is all about, her previous sales experience, and how she's looking at sales now, and most importantly, what were the results that we produced together. Have fun. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have Golden Johnson, which is an absolutely amazing entrepreneur. She's been working with not only other entrepreneurs, but also with the government as well. And more about that, you will be able to hear from her. So glad to have you here. How are you feeling?
Amazing, amazing, amazing. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. It's good to see you, good to have you here because we do definitely have a lot to talk about now, don't we?
Absolutely.
Now, Golden, before we move forward, could you please also tell us a bit more about your business model? What are you doing a bit more in depth, just so the people that are actually watching this, they can have a better understanding about your business model, how it runs, who you help, and how you help, just for a bit more context.
Okay. Well, I have a consultancy for CEOs, projects, and organizations, and I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to starting up businesses and also scaling. And so my area of genius is strategy and solution, refining and growth. So a lot of businesses are having their own issues in their business. They literally just come to me for solutions and strategy. So that's my area of genius, and I've been doing this for over a decade. I do it globally, and my niche, or I would say like my favorite clients to work with, are creative entrepreneurs and CEOs and founders, new founders.
CEOs and founders, creative entrepreneurs. That's great to hear. Now, in terms of your sales journey, what would you say that was the biggest challenge before we actually started working together?
Yeah, my biggest challenge was boosting my number of closes and calls. So I can get people in a call. It was getting them to then sign on to the programs that I had to offer solutions for them.
Okay. So, and how my personal help and us working together, what were the results that you received? How things are looking now?
Ooh. So literally night and day. I really understand more of the psychology of sales before, and I'm guilty of this. Like people think you just get in a call and just get a client, but there is a process you have to go to. There is like a framework you have to have the understanding of, and then you also need to know how to deal with objections and people's statements when it comes to whatever program you're trying to sell them. And so working with you really helped me to understand the process, understand people, and I think that's extremely important. And then also understand the psychology of sales, how to set up the framework for them to say yes. Because ultimately, like they're on the call, they're there for a reason, and knowing how to close that sale is literally like the finishing touches on a beautiful cake.
Really like that detail. But of course, like I cannot agree more with that because it's not just jumping on a call and expecting that the person will make an informed decision like right on the spot just because you present them with something. No, like there's a lot of digging that needs to happen. A lot of proper questions and proper cadence of your tone, your speech, proper structure of when you ask those questions, what questions to avoid, and which questions that you need to ask a bit more. So, that being said, would you recommend me to other coaches and consultants and why?
Yes, absolutely. I would recommend you 100%, no shadow of a doubt. Just because you remove challenges, you remove problems, and you literally up-leveled my skill set, which is a lifelong skill that I'm gonna have moving forward. So this is something that cannot be taken away from me, no matter what economy I'm in, no matter what job I'm doing. If I decided to shut this thing down and go somewhere else, I know how to not just get what I want, but also give solutions to people in a way that favors them. Because what I learned is everyone communicates and receives information differently. And working with you allowed me to understand the wording, like you said, the cadence, the tone, to getting people to see that this thing can benefit them. And I feel like being more genuine and authentic is definitely the finishing touches that you have, because I have worked with other sales coaches before, and they don't really give you that skill set that's permanent, that gives you autonomy and power to have confidence on closing sales calls. So I would literally shout over the rooftops to tell people to book a session with you, take multiples as much as you can, because you do spend a lot of time on the details. And I really really appreciated when we were going through the scripts and things like that. Like you're like, nope, let's start over. Nope, let's do it this way, do it that way. So it really allowed me to understand where exactly I was wrong instead of just, continuing on until it sounded perfect. I like to know when I'm doing something wrong, and then now in the future, it gives me autonomy to correct it without you being there. So now I'm like really a professional, right? Really confident in what I do instead of having to like kind of run to you and be like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Which a lot of sales coaches done to me. I didn't really have the core skills to close calls with confidence without support. So definitely 100%.
Great, amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much for that because that absolutely means so much to me. And yeah, let me know when you're on that rooftop so I can scream with you. And lastly, how would you describe the whole experience of working with me, working together on getting your sales skills to the next level?
I would say it was really phenomenal. Like I said, like I worked with other sales coaches before, but the detail that you put into our sessions, the attention, the intention that you put into our sessions is literally night and day from other sales coaches because of the fact that you do spend the time for me to understand. You do spend the time to like explain things further and deeper so I can actually embody that knowledge and not just have it like this thing you do. I notice like when I get into calls with other salespeople, you can tell they're reading off of a script. However, with you, I can literally just have a conversation with someone on the street about my business and what I do and pitch right on the spot and close them, right? So that's kind of the difference between you and other people is that you actually know what you're talking about and you teach it. And I feel like when you have that teaching aspect in anything that you do in life, that's a forever skill that can never be taken away from you.
Great. Thank you very much for that as well. Now, for everybody who's absolutely interested in making sure that their sales skills are on the next level, they're struggling with objections, they're struggling with simply making sure that their pitch is well thought, well scripted, well managed, and all of those things, shoot me a message over and we can start working together just as we did with Golden. And before we wrap things up, right, could you give us a quick before and after in terms of your closes, cash collected, and how does that look like right now?
Yeah, I mean, in the very short amount of time that we worked together, it's been like I've been in this for years and years and years and years and years. So I think that is a really huge time saver when it comes to working with you. Like you really know how to cut down that learning curve and put it into a short amount of time. So literally working with you, I actually did close a client and it was my first client that I closed on a call, like the way we're talking now. And that was the first time. Usually how I close my clients, like they take a moment, a day or two, then they come back. It's like, yeah, let's do it. But the
Do they?
process that you taught me, yeah, it was insane. First of all, I had all the confidence in the world, compared to before. I did have confidence, like I didn't have an issue pitching and things like that and talking. But like I said, the structure, the framework, the tone, like how you go through it really allowed me to just go through this process. And as I was going through the process, I saw the person I was pitching to like really warm up. And she was like, I'll be crazy not to do this. That was her response at the end of the framework that he showed me. She's like, I'll be crazy not to do it. She's like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, yeah, let's go. So it was the first time I never had any objections ever. It was the first time that I got to actually see what sales looks like and how powerful it is and how it can really benefit my business for future. And so with that being said, close them on the call and I was really happy for that. It really gave me confidence. It really gave me this new level of, I would say, power, right? Knowing how to run your business with a powerful and confident way is ultimately going to generate more money in your life. So, with that being said, it's like it's a skill set that is definitely a requirement when it comes to any businesses that is in sales or has a product or anything like that. It's something that's totally needed to boost your reputation, your brand, and of course, the profit and revenue coming in.
Absolutely. Cannot agree more on that statement because it is power. It stays with you forever. It's a skill that nobody can take away from you, right? And also, no matter like how high of a quality your product is or your service is, at the end of the day, if you don't know how to communicate it at its highest level and its highest value to the person who's interested in it, will they buy it? Well, no, of course not. So it's one of those skills where if you don't have it, although you have like an incredible marketing and great product, if you cannot help a person to make a decision on the spot, because my goal with sales coaching is not to get people be more pushy or anything like that, but to hold people accountable and help them make a decision. Because at the end of a sales call, what we want is for the prospect and for the lead to give us a yes or a no. Everybody who's listening to this, you should be absolutely fine with hearing a no, and you will hear more no's than yeses, and that's completely fine. But don't let the person get off the call by telling you that they need to think about it, because that's not the real objection. Or even if they give you the real objection, there's a way how you can figure out together how to move forward, right? And it's not the prospect's responsibility, it's your responsibility to help them and to guide them and to gather that leadership skill through sales to help them draw a line in the sand and make that step forward, right? It's that important, because a lot of people, when they hear the skill of sales, they're thinking about people that are being pushy, that are being sleazy or anything like that. No, it teaches you how to communicate the right way. It teaches you how to speak in a specific way. It teaches you to be more influential, captivating, but most of all, it teaches you how to actually care about people, how to help them, navigate them, and be the person that they need in that decision-making process. That's basically it.
Right.
So,
And like to go
anything
off of
else?
that,
Yeah.
yeah, to go off of that, like what you were saying, when I was working with you, I did notice a lot of things come up when it comes to objection and money and asking for the money. And I found that was like a weakness, and it allowed me to kind of work on that weakness because it's a mindset at the end of the day. So what you just said is completely like how I think now, but before I was like, I don't know, I don't want to talk about money, like, but like this is why we're here, to make money and help people and be of service and to give solutions. So it's like if you're shy about that, you're not gonna get to that point. So definitely a valid point to what you were saying, because I feel like that's why I was so confident in that money aspect when it came to that asking for the money point of the call. It was like, yeah, like I'd be crazy not to. Like that was literally what they said. They weren't like, oh, like I gotta think about it, or it was like it was so seamless. I was really happy for that.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, Golden. Before we go, is there something else that you would like to add and say before we wrap everything up?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to say anyone doubting themselves, anyone not sure about if you are the right coach for them, I would say go for it. Again, I have so many experience of sales coaches, so I feel like I did the work for anyone watching right now on who's the best. And you're definitely the best sales coach out there. Never had an experience like this, never had the results like this in such a short amount of time. And again, like I have a permanent skill for the rest of my life. So I don't even feel like I lost anything. I feel like I gained so much more, and we're not even done. I feel like we still have to go through so many more things. And the fact that I already have a win in the middle of us working together, that already just shows how powerful and how effective your framework is. I think the Blitz close system is like literally chef's kiss. Perfection. When you went around the block and when you experience a lot of different sales coaches, a lot of scammers as well, like I've experienced it. I had people take my money and run. So I know exactly who this person is and ultimately the results that you can get. And if I can get that, like again, shouting off the rooftops for it, because I want everyone to win. I want everyone to gain abundance in their business. I want everyone to overcome their challenges with ease. And if that's what you want, then definitely tap in and tune yourself into Raison Hamid.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Super, super grateful for all of those amazing, amazing words. And yeah, let's continue crushing it, getting your confidence even to the other levels, because as you mentioned, we still have a bit more to go over. But with your attitude, with your winner attitude and your drive, we'll definitely go to the next level and new levels and explore some more abundant streams of wealth. Let's put it this way.
I'm here
So
for
yeah,
it. Thank you
absolutely.
so much again. I definitely appreciate you for bringing my business to the next level, and we'll never forget this experience.
Great. Thank you very much as well for your time, and talk to you very soon.